What's up guys, welcome back to Doki Doki Drawing. You may recognize this picture. It was drawn by the professional animator here at Doki Doki Drawing as part of an advice series. So someone sent in some art and said, can you give us some advice? And Hinoe's way of giving advice tends to be to do a drawing of something similar but in his own style and with his own flair and everything. We're going to be coloring her in using this today. This is the Copic debut set. Just picked this up at a local shop. I think it was something like $30 or $40, can't remember exactly, but it's one of those sets that includes, and there's a video about this, so do feel free to check out the video. This set includes two fine liners, a brown fine liner and a black one. They are both 0.1 millimeters, so they're very, very thin. And a number of pens. I believe there are 10 pens in here. And this set, I guess one of the things about this set is they give you very light colors because they're going to be easiest to blend with and also quite difficult to mess up. I think when you've got darker pens, it's more obvious when you make a mistake, but with these pens, they're so light that even if you go outside of the lines, for the most part, you might not even notice that the line was there unless you're doing multiple coats of paint. If you're not even familiar with what Copic markers are, just do check out the actual video where I looked at these and tried them for the first time. I'm a beginner when it comes to Copic marker pens, and in this video, I will be using this actually, the Multiliner, and then in the next video, going on to things like the coloring with these pens. After coloring this in, we'll post this on Doki Doki Drawing. We'll put a link below somewhere, and let's have a contest. The first thing I'm going to do is start with the line art. So I've actually got some paper here. This is designed for Copic markers. It's actually made by the company Dot 2, which is the Copic, I believe it's the company that makes these Copic markers. And this paper, if you're interested to know, it's 157 grams per square meter. There's actually a large number of different types of paper that you can buy from Copic, but they range from starchy to smooth, thin to thick, and light beige to actual white. So this is somewhere in the middle. It's not purely white paper, but it's somewhere in the middle, and I think it should work well for this illustration that Hinoe has done for us. Let's go ahead and do the line art using this Copic Multiliner. So to do this line art, I'm actually using a light table. This cost me like $100, but the truth is you can get these really cheap these days for like $30 online. And they'll have like USB power cables. Like my one doesn't even have a USB power cable, so I recommend getting one of the $30 options with a USB power cable because it's so much more convenient to just use your mobile phone charger to run these things. I'm gonna put the original illustration down first on the light table, and then I'm gonna put the new piece of paper, the Copic paper, on top of it, and we're going to draw the lines here. But as you can see, can't actually see the illustration the way it is now. So if we turn the light table on, you can actually see it'll be so bright that it punches these lines straight through to this piece of paper, and I can actually trace it over here. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm not a professional at doing cleanup for anime artwork, but I guess the idea is you get this Genga from the animator, and you have to get the best line that they intended there. You have to understand what the animator wanted. And let's see if we can do the best line art we can do. And then the last thing I need to do before I go into the line art is I need to make sure it doesn't slip around so the lines don't end up in the wrong place. So I'm gonna have to stick this together with a clip. Let's find exactly where we want this paper to be so it's actually covering it's actually the exact same size. So let's just line it up like so. I'll put the clip on the top left, and I'll put another clip here on the top right. Alright, there we go. I've put the clips, two at the top and one at the bottom. It might be a little bit excessive, but hopefully now it absolutely won't go anywhere. And what I'm going to do is open up this Copic Multiliner, and I guess technically I could use the brown Multiliner for skin areas and the black Multiliner for the clothing, but you know what? I'm just going to keep it very simple for now. I'm just going to do all of it using the black Multiliner only. I'm going to start over here at the top. Wow, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Whew. Okay, well that is the line art done. Only a few hundred mistakes in there, but I'm actually fairly pleased with the result. This has been good fun. I think in review of doing this, I found that perhaps next time, because I've run out of those gloves, I need to go and buy some more, but I might actually wear a glove instead, because even though this is not a glass screen, it is still kind of difficult to get a nice smooth line without putting a piece of paper down or wearing a glove. So I kind of wish I had put a piece of paper down before trying to pull these lines, because you can see they're actually kind of rough. They're not really as smooth as they could be. I think for the most part the line thickness is pretty uniform, but you can see where I was pushing less hard or harder in different areas, and you can see where I actually made a mistake here on the chin, and so I had to kind of fix that, because I'd created like a shape that wasn't actually there in the original art. If I show you how it compares to the original illustration, I think you can see like it was obvious that there was a line, a really smooth line that was intended here, but when I drew it, I just didn't have really good control of the pen, and so it looks like it's kind of drawn very slowly and with some kind of shaking as well. So definitely that's something I want to work on, is trying to get these lines without weird bits of texture. You can see there was an area right here on the knee where like the two lines haven't connected quite nicely, and so it's ended up kind of textured, which it's not supposed to be. Or rather, it's not what I was intending. I also think I may have exaggerated this hump here. I could tell that the line kind of went slightly sort of reverse C-shaped here at the tip of the knee, but I kind of overdid it here, and it's become a little bit too realistic as compared to the original art. So I do feel like part of the task here with the line art, if you're doing line art of someone else's Genga, I feel like, or key drawing rather, I feel like that's the scary part. Is like, am I going to do justice to the original illustration? I do feel like there's a lot of work that still needs to be done here, but it's a good start, and more importantly, now that it's complete, I can move on to the coloring stage. So if you're interested in that, do stay subscribed to Doki Doki Drawing, and look forward to the next video where I'll be coloring this in, and at the end of this little mini series, we will be asking for you to submit your own illustrations. We'll be posting the line art online so that you guys can download it, get to tracing yourself, and get to coloring by yourself, posting that stuff online, and then let's have a contest and see who wins. So make sure you've got that notification bell clicked, and do leave a comment on, little tips that you might have for doing line art, or tips that you might have for coloring. Going to obviously be making another video as well for the coloring stage. Looking forward to seeing all the input that everyone has on making coloring better for everyone. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye.